Yeah, but I can't say that anyone, the only one that was special, that stood out, was when we were growing up, was my brother Joe.
Joe?
And Louise was very, very special, but I can't say that she was more special than Helen.
You were close to Helen.
Yeah.
Very close to Helen.
We grew up and we were very close in age, 2 years apart. That's all. I was 5 or 6 years to Louise, and probably 9 or 8 or 9 to Joe.
To Duke would have been.
Yeah, Duke.
Duke.
So Joe was, we could count on Joe, Helen and I, to show up wherever he was at, on a ship or anywhere in the world, to show up on Christmas Eve with gifts for us. We knew anytime anybody knocked at the door, we rushed because we thought it was Joe coming.
Excuse me, can you tell my sister about, she's going to have that 64 slice thing and see more.
Talk to her about what?
The 64 slice thing, she wants to know about it because they've told her she's had to drink
What?
some things. She's got to take the 64 slice scan.
And I delivered the Tampa Morning Tribune. Those were kids' jobs. And then I worked for the lights blinking.
Huh. What does that mean? Oh, right. We'll just go until it dies. It's my battery might die here. It's all right. Hope it doesn't. Does it bother you?
No, but do you have a battery?
Yeah, I have a charger. I'll charge it up later. So
Then I worked for Postal Telegraph. That was like the father of Western Union, the Postal Telegraph. It was AT and the people that put down the transatlantic cable at
Oh, right.
Telegraph,
what did you do for them?
delivered telegrams. That was, nobody had telephones, or very few of the people, most of the business world was transacted with telegrams.
Oh, okay. What about after that? Is that when you joined the Merchant Marine?
Yeah. After that, I got out of high school and I went into the Merchant Marine.
Say, what, if you had to say, what are some of the things your parents taught you that helped you succeed?
Well, first, I haven't succeeded.
Well,
All right.
First, I haven't succeeded.
I missed the question. I was reading.
What did parents teach them to help them succeed? Can I use that? Let me put that back in there.
First thing the main thing I believe
That's good.
was respect for other people and other people's property. I can remember like it was yesterday, getting a hell of a sermon that my mother found me reading somebody's mail, one of my sisters or brothers, I forget who it was. And I had innocently picked it up and opened it, not opened it, unfolded it and started reading it. And I got a severe sermon over that. And I remembered that, and then I got another one when my father got home.
You know, they must have given me the same sermon because I know that I don't pick up people's stuff. If I'm in somebody's house, I wouldn't dare look at anything. You know, it just,
Yeah.
it must be something that was learned early on.
Yeah, I remember it was sacred to them. if a letter is laying there or a note or some missile, just leave it alone. The person it
It
belongs to.
doesn't have your
will
name
find-
on it, it's not yours.
That's right. That's one of the major things, and property, of course, goes along with that. I learned a sacred respect for people's property, which brings us to the people that own the property next door to theirs now, renews their fence every 5 or 6 years, whatever, maybe 8 or 10 years, but they keep their fence is now walked over about 6 foot into my father's and mother's property. And I'm saying, why the hell should I go over there and fight them now? Whenever we need to, we'll get a surveyor and make them move it all at one time.
There's nothing about certain, after so many years it becomes theirs.
No, that's not homesteaders or anything. It's
I remember when there was a garage, you could drive, there was a wide driveway by Papa Noella's house, and there was a garage back at the end of the driveway.
yeah.
And when I was little, we would run around and play on both sides. We would go around the garage. And there was a tree back there. There was
There was a walkway between
walkway.
the fence and the garage.
and there was a guava tree there in the driveway, and there may have been a mango tree, but I know there was a guava tree.
There was a mango tree.
And after a few years, the fence was smack up against the garage. You
How
couldn't.
did he move the fence?
They put up a new fence, and they just moved the post on the other side of the old post.
The fence is here, and they got to renew it, so they put they drill the post holes here and then back here, and they got a bunch of old World War II Jeeps, and they park them, they move them up to they don't run, they're just old junks, and because J.W. used to drive only Jeeps. I think he got an affinity for Jeeps in World War II and used to have a bunch of old World War II Jeeps. And they're still there.
You're still in that yard?
A couple of them are.
You tore down Papa Noella's house, so you can't, but you can sort of see where the driveway was, and now the fence has gone into where the driveway was. Now, the garage is gone, but
Even
we-
still now?
still now.
Today, even today?
Yeah, we drove by the other day.
But you don't own it now, do you?
Yeah, he still owns it.
You still own that property?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay.
It's on Marconi Street.
Carolyn and I owned the lot next door, the corner lot.
And you own Papa Noella's lot too. We gotta get that straightened out.
Many a slip is between saying and doing. I've never done anything about that.
Well, I think because you paid the taxes for 50 years now,
Yeah.
we just need to do that.
Huh.
But I called about that cigar factory.
Yeah, Carolyn told me.
They had the closing that day.
The name was Vicente Guerra.
Vicente Guerra.
What about it?
It's a factory right across the street. You know, Marconi Street comes out here, and 26th Street is here, and right about here there's a big, beautiful old building.
Okay.
And I'm sure it's all, but anyway, it was a cigar factory. It said 27,000 square feet for sale. And
There
then
was
your
a-
wife, Freddie Fender, and Kathleen didn't. So they went on some long trip, and she kept the parakeet. And she taught the parakeet to say, Freddie Fender is a fat fart.
Got home, that's all that bird would say.
She must have said it over and over again.
She got her revenge on him.
Can you imagine that? How long did she keep that bird?
We went to China, so it must have been quite a while.
So a month maybe?
Maybe 3 weeks or so.
Uh-huh. Every day.
Yeah.
All day.
She made a record of her saying,
You don't know her.
Oh, is that right?
She's a bulldog. She could have been a seal.
"What?"
She could have been a Navy SEAL. She's that determined.
She would have wiped out everybody.
That's funny.
Freddie Fender's a fat fart. You know, we got in an argument about,
How many arguments? 1 billion.
we got in an argument one day at dinner about,
Let's put the rice on.
we can argue about anything.
Okay.
She just sets me off when I see her. I can't. Be careful. And
I don't think I've ever met her.
you'd know it if you ever had.
Yeah. Have I met your sister? I don't think I met. If I met her, so it was just like briefly.
Yeah, well, she'll tell you exactly in five seconds what she thinks about it.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
She doesn't hold back anything.
And she started with this. Freddie Fender was on a CD, and she started, what's that damn Mexican doing singing Western songs? I said, this guy was born in Texas. He's got a right to sing whatever he wants. You know, and oh no, he's not a Mexican, he's not a Texan. And I said, well, at that time, this was 25 years ago, there was this black guy that was very, very popular, famous Western singer. What was his name? I can't think of it. I said, what about this guy? And she said, well, he's an American. I said, so is Freddie Fender. He would just happen to be born in Texas. So what the hell are you going to do? And she says, well, Freddie Fender's a big fat fart. So the argument petered out.
Yeah. Until she got your bird.
Midnight Street Trip.
And we had a trip planned for China. So
Let's go put on a diaper.
her sister started begging, started asking, would we leave the bird with her? And I didn't want to leave the bird with her. I had people that would take care of my animal. So I told her, don't leave the bird with her. And she doesn't have good intentions planned. Come listen, sir, there's nothing wrong. I said, don't leave the bird with it. She doesn't have good intentions in mind. She said, my sister wouldn't do anything to hurt the bird. She's not going to do anything to hurt the bird. She's going to do something to hurt me. So we got back, and she called her sister and said, we're back. We want to go pick the bird up. And she went and picked the bird up. First thing, she got the bird home and took its cover off. The bird looked all around, big grin. Freddie Fender's a fat fart.
That's awesome.
Pretty funny myself.
Pretty sneaky, wasn't
That's
it?
sneaky. Oh, that's awesome.
What was the name of that black Western singer that was so popular then? I liked him. He was a great singer.
Look at it.
Charlie Price.
Charlie Pryor was black guy? I didn't know that.
Yeah. That was another big discussion. 'Cause my
No,
sister-
he became part of the discussion.
Yeah.
Because I said, what's wrong if we have a black
Where's the
guy
diaper?
singing Western? What's wrong with a Mexican guy singing Western?
Hey, Steph, if you're gonna do that, take him to the potty and have him pee real quick.
Yeah, he doesn't want to. Surprise is even allowing me to put shorts on him.
That's what happened with Freddie.
Hey, hotshot,
The thing was that
Hey, Kaylin, come say hi to Uncle Nino.
she says,
come say hi.
have you ever heard of a thing? Freddie Fender was,
Where's Uncle Nino? Where's Uncle Nino?
there was a big thing about.
Go say hi to Uncle Nino.
And she's, I don't know.
Come here, Caleb.
Drew was, I don't know what she
Is he
said.
getting sleepy?
Freddie-
Probably, yeah.
Oh, look at that smile. Can I pick you up?
Yeah, well, you know.
Can I
these
pick
are-
you up? Oh,
Cowboys. this, that.
wow. Can I have a big kiss?
And so then she says.
Oh,
Oh.
oh.
I sing it. Country western.
You gotta,
Where were the blacks? Were they
You got a big shirt on, haven't you? Nice shirt. That's a nice shirt. Mama? Is that that's your escape valve, isn't it? Mama? Mama?
Mama.
Mama? You wanna get down? Those are my spectacles. You know what spectacles are? Look. Hello? Hello? Boy, he's a winner.
He's a cutie, huh?
He's a keeper, isn't he?
Yeah, for
Gotta
sure.
keep him.
Yeah, I won't throw him back. So did you go to the Merchant Marine? Did you go to the Merchant Marine Academy, or you just went straight
I
in,
just
right?
went, I'm what they call came through the hose pipe.
Oh, right.
It means in the Navy it would be somebody that was promoted as an officer from the ranks. I came through the hose pipe, which meant I had when I first went in the Merchant Marine, Jeffrey, I had the lowest, most demeaning job that there is in the Merchant Marine. I still think they gave me that job because they were trying to dissuade me from being a merchant seaman, because there was a lot of old time. Everybody was an old timer in that crew,
Oh, yeah?
and I was an 18-year-old kid. They were all trying to dissuade me from being a career seaman. So they named me to the 8 to 12 ordinary seaman's watch. That meant I was on from 8 to 12 in the ordinary as an ordinary seaman. That's the lowest you can get on a ship in the deck department. The first 2 hours of that 8 to 12 watch, I had to clean toilets. I had to clean and scrub out all the toilets on the ship, and not only the bowls but the whole area.
Okay.
Yeah,
Damn it.
and the showers. So, and the second 2 hours, you had to go make coffee prior to the 9:45. You knocked off of washing the toilets, cleaning the toilets, and you went to the crew mess hall and made coffee, and for the crew for fresh coffee to be there when they come in from 10 to 10:15, which was called coffee time.
All right.
And you had to have fresh coffee made there. And if you didn't have fresh coffee to everybody's taste, you caught hell. So the first ship was a big 4-mast lumber ship, West Coast lumber ship. It was built along the lines of a sailing ship, but it was an old steam ship. It was a Hamlin F. McCormick, and I can remember things about it that stick out in my mind.
So it had 4 masts. Did it have sails? Did they put sails on?
Sails. It was built like a sailing ship because it handled lumber from the West Coast, and it needed big mast and big mast and booms to handle.
So they could bring big
big
fort
logs
logs or whatever over.
onto
Okay.
the deck.
Okay.
So,
Did it store did it take everything on deck, or did they bring anything
no,
below?
what we were doing with that, what we were running on that ship was bauxite, aluminum ore from Dutch Guiana and British Guiana to Trinidad. And we would discharge it at a barge that was in the harbor. The name of the barge was Dirty Dick. And we would dock at Dirty Dick and discharge, and bigger ships would come alongside and take it to the States.
Oh, okay. So when you say
like-
Trinidad, you mean Trinidad and Tobago, the islands? Yeah. Okay.
And that's what we did for a year.
Finally made a trip down to see her.
I'll never, I had forgotten the majority of guys that were my shipmates because of age and years, but I'll never forget the name of the bosun or forget what he looked like. His name, the bosun on the ship, was Luke Collins, and I think I learned more from him than he was an alcoholic. We couldn't let him ashore, not me, the older guys couldn't let him ashore because if he got one drink, he was finished. And somebody'd have to find him and carry him back from whatever little jungle port we were in. We didn't, the only port that resembled a city that we went into was Trinidad. And you gotta remember, you gotta think that this was 1941. And it was a tiny little place. And so Georgetown, British Guiana, and Suriname, what is Suriname now, Dutch Guiana was a tiny little Dutch enclave, and it didn't resemble a town, much less a city. It was a little native village, really. And anyway, Luke Collins, the first day I was on the ship, said, "Come here, son." He had a huge, he was a great big guy, but had a huge beer belly hanging. And he said, "Where are you going?" And I said, "I'm going aft to get," wait a minute. He said, "You're coming from forward to aft?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "Don't ever let me catch you going from one end of the ship to the it was a stretch to call that thing a ship. But he says, "Don't ever let me catch you going from one end of the ship to the other without something in your hand. Carry something, even if you don't know what it is or what it's for. Carry something. That makes your trip worthwhile and important to the ship. You carry so that's where I learned the theory of one hand for you and one hand for the ship, which is very main and on the ship that you should be able to think that. So that's my first encounter with one hand for the ship and one for
hand
you.
for you, right? So, how did you end up getting a?
What? I'm busy at the moment, sorry.
No, you're not too busy.
Where's Stephanie? Stephanie?
No, let Carolyn do it.
Stephanie, my glass is empty, honey.
Carolyn will do it.
I could find a bottle actually.
I'm out of fruit too.
Hey, you're getting a sickness, let me tell you, it's very sickness.
You're learning
You know what I almost did
Alan,
today?
why didn't you bring it?
When it was time
Couldn't
to
find the bottle and she found it.
when it was time to go to the surf shop, I almost started honking the horn to get stuff to come down. Just like Frank.
You're Frank Ferris of the West Coast?
No, I'm not. I'm not either. No.
Oh, yeah, well, that's
You want a
Thank
little
you.
bit of wine, sir?
Do you know that it must have been from you, but he told me about Frank Ferris blowing the horn. You must have told him.
No, I remember that.
He was there.
I was there for at least once, and then I think Mom told me that. Somebody told me after I had experienced it, but I remember it. I remember him being out in the car and Aunt Helen having to leave really fast.
Run.
Yeah. Aunt Helen going, oh, he's just being Frank, and she had to leave. Yeah. And then they told me after that, they're like, yeah, when he's ready to go, it's time to go.
Do you remember me pulling your brother out of the surf over there?
I thought that was me. That
Oh,
was
you,
Steve.
yeah.
That was me.
That was you.
And Anna Maria, right?
Yeah, he hadn't been born yet.
Yeah.
Very, as far
Yeah.
as I remember, very sweet.
Yeah, it was over in,
Thank you, Marie, so much. So tell me about that. How did you save my life?
Oh, out in the water.
you went with,
I remember that day.
I think you had gone with a bullet was, after you was trying to drag you back, and, I looked up and, Carolyn, do you remember? Carolyn,
Yeah.
please, come here.
Join us for a second. This is an important story.
All right.
This is about me.
Tell him
I know
how,
it
living.
was. I was there on the beach.
tell him what happened when, I pulled him out of the surf over at, the other side in Anna Maria.
Okay, is his mother and Louise, you and I, and
You don't have to go to that.
no, I just went down to Helen, and we were all talking. We were having a wonderful time, and the children were just at the edge of the surf, and they were playing, and we were watching them. But we got in conversation. And what happens? We didn't realize a wave came in and knocked him down, and you were the only one that realized what was
He
happening.
was going back out.
You were the
to sea.
first one that realized what happened. And he knocked over, he was tumbling, and he was rolling out. And you said, oh my God, you jumped up, and you ran, and then everybody realized what was happening, and you were already ahead of everybody else. And we were scared because it was very, he was critical, because he was being taken out. So that was,
And Eileen, your mother,
and she just was crying.
screaming
She
and
was-
grabbed you and said, "Oh, I want my baby."
Because she felt like she should have been the one that should have run and gotten him, but what happened was we were talking, and I mean, just any child in
There
a
was a lot
heartbeat,
of people watching y'all anyway.
in a heartbeat, he was like,
So that's the story. I thought it was his brother.
It was me though, for
oh
sure.
no, it's Jeffrey.
Stephen hadn't been born yet.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
Was anyone else out there? Who else was out there?
It was
probably-
was one of those family reunions that we
Probably Sissy
And Laurie
had. I just
and
remember the
Ricky.
adults that were there.
Yeah.
And I remember that we were sitting there on the beach having a nice conversation. It was, wow, it could have turned into something.
and my reactions were quite a bit faster than
Because he says he's in trouble. And you zoomed out there and got him. And his legs and arms are flopping around.
How old was I then? I was probably,
You were a toddler.
maybe 2,
yeah.
You were a toddler.
3 years old at the
But
most.
the thing is, you stayed with us. You went to the edge of the water. You came back. And you played. And then we got in this conversation. The next thing, you were right at the edge of the water, but you went a little bit further.
They were near you,
far.
but they weren't. They had looked away for a minute.
Yeah, that's all it takes.
Wait,
A minute.
this wave came in. I don't know. A freaky wave.
Your mother wouldn't trust anybody to
started
watch
tumbling.
you from then on.
Oh, really?
Oh
Yeah.
my God! After that, it was.
She was, you don't remember, but she was a mother hen.
How was she? How was she, Carolyn? She's a watchdog, you said?
Absolutely a watchdog.
Yeah. She was always right there next to
She
me.
would not let you out of sight for sure.
Huh.
And
Well,
she
she's
felt
the
very
biggest
guilty that
mother
she
hen
wasn't the
I've
one
ever
that saw
known.
you first, actually.
I can believe that. Yeah. No, it makes sense. I believe that. Cool.
No, after that. Then after that, they put
You
a,
knew you